What is going on, guys? It is PANJ here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys the ultimate FPS increase guide for Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 3. This video is going to be featuring a plethora of optimizations and newly updated optimizations, building upon and improving my previous videos. So if you haven't seen any of my previous Fortnite content, or if you've watched all of the videos up until this point, make sure that you do stick around and follow along with all of the steps in this video to ensure that you guys are getting the very best FPS within inside of Season 3. As always, guys, if you guys do enjoy this video, please do leave a like on the video, so it helps me out tremendously, alongside leaving any comments, questions, queries, or other FPS tips and tricks you've discovered in that comment section down below, as it is always fantastic to hear from you guys. And if you guys do enjoy my content, please do consider pressing that subscription button alongside the bell notification to be notified instantly of when a brand new video goes live on the channel. With all that said and done, let's get straight on into the video. So to kick things off, first of all, what we're going to be doing is navigating into the description down below, where we'll be finding two download links for the FPS increase pack provided. Simply click on the first download link. If for any reason you're having issues downloading the file from the first download link and it won't go onto your desktop, try out the second link, download the file, place the file onto your desktop. You'll then be given the Fortnite C2 Season 3 FPS by PANJ pack. To open up this pack, which is actually a compressed folder, you'll need to go ahead and right click on the file you've downloaded and select the option for extract here. If you do not see the option for extract here, you'll need to take yourself over to Google, either Google WinRAR or 7-zip, doesn't matter which one you get. Come back to the file, right click, select extract here. Once you guys have done that, you'll then be met with a folder on your desktop with an identical name. Before we jump in with the optimizations, it's very important to actually set up one preparation step to ensure that we can go along with this video safely, successfully, try out all of these optimizations, and if for any reason your PC doesn't like these optimizations, or you don't wish to keep them, or you are not happy with the results, we can revert everything back with a few clicks of a button by setting up a system restore point at this point in the video. It is highly recommended to do this. It takes around about 20 seconds or so to set up, and it just means that you have peace of mind following along with this video, knowing that nothing can go wrong, or if something does go wrong, you can revert it back with a few clicks of a button. To do this, navigate to the bottom left hand side, click on the Windows key and type in system space restore, just like so. Click on the Create a Restore Point button. With inside of here, then go down to the Available Drives drop down menu, scroll down, and we're going to be looking for our local disk C drive. Go ahead and click on this drive to highlight it, go down to the Configure button. With inside of here, go down to the Max Usage slider, set this to about 5%, ensure that System Protection is turned on at the top, press Apply, press OK. Then once again, click on that drive, then go down to the Create button, and simply name the system restore point something you'll remember. So we'll just simply call this Fortnite Restore. Then go ahead and press Create, and after a few short moments, the system restore point will then be created. And from this point onwards, we can then revert Windows back to this point in the video at any time, and we're then good to continue on. If you guys do enjoy the content which comes to this channel, but you do prefer to watch content in a much smaller condensed format, it is recommended to check out the second channel, which is actually PANJ 2, which can be found in the description down below, where you'll be finding most of the similar content to this channel, heavily condensed into around about 10 minutes and under videos. So for the first major optimization, what we're going to be doing is actually installing the brand new Chapter 2 Season 3 configs and matching them to your system specs. To do this, what we're going to be doing is navigate inside of the FPS increase pack provided, go inside of the configs folder, then go inside of the folder which best matches your system specs or the desired configuration you wish to go for. For me, and on this PC, I'm going to be going with the recommended folder. Then with inside of here, you'll be met with an engine, game user settings, and scalability file. To install these files, it's very simple and easy to do. Drag this folder over to the right hand side, navigate to the bottom left hand side, click on the Windows key, this time typing in %appdata%, just like so, pressing enter. Then with inside of here, go to the navigation bar at the top, click where it says app data, then go down to the local folder, scroll all the way down, and we're looking for the F section. Once you're inside of here, go down to Fortnite game, saved, config, Windows client, and with inside of here, we're simply going to be dragging and dropping our brand new files. So go over to the right hand side to the FPS pack provided, highlight all of the files with inside of here, drag them across, drop them, and replace the files with inside of this destination. Once you guys have applied that, we can then go ahead and exit out of both of the folders, and we can then apply some application fixes to the Fortnite application itself. To set this optimization, we need to navigate into the installation directory of Fortnite, and as Fortnite is quite a big game, people typically tend to put the installation folder into whichever drive makes most sense for them. The best way to actually find the installation directory of Fortnite is to actually simply boot into the game. Once you guys have booted into the game, simply then go ahead and press Alt and Tab into a different window within inside of your PC, scroll down to the bottom to the taskbar, right click on the taskbar, open up Task Manager, then with inside of here, go to the Fortnite game under Processes, click on the drop down menu, right click, then go ahead and hit Open File Location. This will bring you directly into the installation folder for Fortnite, wherever it is on your PC. Scrolling down until we find the Fortnite Client Win64 shipping application found here, right click on this application, go down to Properties, go to the Compatibility tab, ensure that Disable Full Screen Optimizations has been checked, click Change High DPI, make sure that you're then running the High DPI Scaling Override, click Override, press OK, Apply and OK. We're then going to apply that optimization to the following applications within inside of Fortnite, just like so. First of all, what we're going to be doing is navigating to the bottom left hand side, clicking on the Windows button and then typing in game space mode, clicking on game mode settings and ensuring that game mode is actually switched on. With inside of here, we're also going to be going into game bar, found here on the left hand side, and ensure that record game clips, screenshots and broadcast using game bar is switched off to ensure that Windows game bar isn't running in the background, taking up extra resources and slowing down game performance. Before continuing on, it's incredibly important that you actually check out that the RAM in your PC is configured correctly and set up in the correct RAM slots. This is something that is very overlooked in almost any FPS guide out there, including from myself. Making sure that the RAM you have installed to your PC is set up correctly and configured in the right slots is incredibly vital to ensure that you guys are getting the best FPS possible, as you could be throttling your performance up to around about 50+% depending if your RAM is misconfigured. The RAM will work perfectly, but the speed you could be getting from your PC can be drastically improved by simply unplugging a RAM stick and plugging it into a different slot. You'll see on screen now a quick demonstration as to how you should have your RAM configured. If you have 4 or more slots available, you should be running your RAM in dual channel mode. If the sticks are together, this typically means that you're running in 2 single channel modes, which is actually cutting the bandwidth available in half. This is how you should have your RAM sticks set up if you only have 2 sticks available, but you have 4 slots available. If you guys are running on 2 sticks and you only have 2 slots available, that's absolutely fine. You cannot have them misconfigured. And finally, for anyone running on an odd amount of RAM, whether that be 1 or 3 sticks, you should definitely look into investing into a secondary RAM stick or changing your 3 RAM sticks into 4 RAM sticks. This can actually be a very cheap upgrade to have and can wield some drastic improvements towards FPS. You do not have to match the make or model of the RAM, you simply just need to make sure that you're either running a similar DDR3 stick or DDR4 stick depending on what your system's using, and you have to match the speed. Besides that, you don't have to match it in capacity, make or model, and to see those specs you can actually navigate to the bottom of your PC, right click on the taskbar, open up Task Manager, go to the Performance tab, go to Memory, and with inside of here you can then see the speed in which the memory you are using. You'll see how many slots are available on your PC and it will tell you how many slots are being used, and under no circumstances should you ever be running an odd amount of RAM sticks. So if this says 1 of 2 or 3 of 4, the best upgrade you can possibly make, which can cost you the price of a couple of skins with inside of the game, would be to get an additional RAM stick to ensure that you're running in dual channel memory. We can then go ahead and actually boot back into Fortnite to further set up our in-game settings for our system specs. Once you guys are inside of the main menu under the Battle Royale mode, navigate up to the top right hand side, click on the 3 lines, then go to the settings menu. With inside of here, we're then going to be going through our in-game settings which are recommended for our personal specs, and you can see recommended options with inside of here on the right hand side depending on your system specs for each option. Starting off with inside of window mode. This can actually be quite an interesting optimization. It's recommended once you guys have set up all of your settings to come with inside of the windowed mode and change this around whilst in game to see which gives you the best FPS. For some systems, full screen can give you the best FPS, and for other systems, windowed full screen can give you the best FPS. For the most part on this machine I'm running on, which is my high-end gaming PC, windowed full screen actually gives me the better performance, so I'm going to be sticking with windowed full screen, but again, do experiment around with this option as there is no one setting which will be the best for your system. We can then go down to our resolution. If you guys are running on a custom resolution or a lower resolution to your native monitor, you will have to be running on full screen, and for this you can see recommended resolutions on the right hand side of the screen now, depending on the system specs you are running on. Frame limit is recommended to have set to unlimited for higher end gaming PCs or for those wanting the best FPS possible. If you guys are wanting the most stable, smooth and consistent experience possible, it is recommended to cap your FPS the closest you can get to your monitor's refresh rate. For high end gaming PCs, I'd recommend capping your FPS between 144 and 240. If you guys can get 240 FPS and you're on a 144Hz monitor, it is recommended to cap your FPS at the highest value possible on which you can most stably get. The only other instance you should be capping your FPS is on a lower end system or a system which typically has overheating issues. Capping your FPS to either 60 or 120 on PCs which have overheating issues or laptops can drastically help in decreasing thermals, overall giving you guys much more consistent and better FPS over a longer period of time. For me, I'm running on my ultra high-end gaming PC, getting anywhere between about 280 to around about 450 FPS depending on where I am on the map, so I'm going to be keeping unlimited. Brightness is personal preference. For any of the options with inside of here which I skip over, you can set these however you wish to do so, as they are personal preference and do not affect the performance of the game. Navigating down to 3D resolution, this is one of the most important settings with inside of here for reaching the desired frame rate in which you wish to achieve. On the right hand side of the screen now you'll be seeing recommended settings for the 3D resolution depending on your system specs in which you wish to achieve. I'm going to be sticking with a 3D resolution of 100%, and do bear in mind that running on a lower resolution than your native monitor's resolution and setting the 3D resolution lower can really boost FPS on ultra low end systems. So if you set your monitor to 1280 by 720, setting the 3D render resolution to a 50%, you're actually going to be rendering half of 720p, meaning that the game will be running a lot better on lower end systems. So you can experiment around with these options and find something that suits you, but for me I'm going to be sticking at 3D resolution 100%. View distance should be set to near for everyone. Shadows can either be switched to off, but if you do wish to have them on for the extra visual fidelity, I would recommend keeping them at medium at the highest, but for my recommended settings, off is the best. Anti-aliasing is going to be switched off, and again, if you can't stand the jaggies or the game looks too bad for you with this off, set this to medium at the highest. Textures should be set to match your system specs, otherwise set them to the lowest option available. If you guys are running on a low end system, set them to low, medium end system, set them to medium end, and if you're on an ultra high end system, set them to high. Effects should be switched to low, post-processing should be switched to low, VSync should be switched off no matter what, this option should never be used, and can tank FPS and will drastically increase input lag, so never have this on. Motion blur should also be switched off, show FPS can be switched to the on position, DirectX version should be switched to DirectX 12, unless you're on a low end system, but again it is recommended if you can switch DirectX 12 to the on position, try this option out and see what FPS you get with inside of the game, as if you have the option available to you and your PC supports it, DirectX 12 will nearly always give you better FPS than DirectX 11. This wasn't the case for the previous season of Fortnite, but DirectX 12 inside of Season 3 Chapter 2 is the best option. Allow multi-threaded rendering should be switched on, and GPU crash debugging should be switched off. Once you guys have got all of those settings set, go to the bottom right hand side and press apply. We can then navigate up to the top, go to the settings cog found here at the top. We can then proceed to scroll all the way down until we find the replays options. We're going to be switching record replays to the off position, record large team replays off, and record creative mode replays off. You can then go up to the Nvidia highlights option. If this option is available for you, switch this to the off position as well. Once you guys are done with inside of there, once again press apply, and then last but not least navigate to the top right hand side to the audio tab, go down to sound quality and set this to low. And once we're done with inside of there, we can then navigate once again to the bottom right hand side, apply those settings, and we can then go ahead and exit out of the game, as we're going to be applying some further optimizations to the operating system itself, and some more background Fortnite optimizations to ensure that you guys are getting the best FPS possible. Do bear in mind that you can come back into the settings after the FPS increase guide, and fine tune and tweak around some settings which you might wish to have re-enabled, but for the most part, those are the settings I recommend for the best FPS possible. So for a brand new optimization for the latest update of Fortnite, what we're going to be doing is actually navigating to the bottom left hand side, typing in device space manager, clicking on device manager found here. We're then going to proceed to scroll down until we find the S section, and we're going to be looking for system devices. Once you guys have found system devices, click on the arrow next to it to expand it, and we're going to be looking for the high precision event timer. For everyone watching this video, you will be seeing the high precision event timer, but depending on what its current setting is, depends on whether or not you're going to be applying this optimization or not. If the high precision event timer is currently running for you guys, you can see this by right clicking on it. If it says disable device instead of enable, then I'd recommend actually going in and actually disabling the high precision event timer. If the high precision event timer is already disabled for you and you only have the option to enable it, like on my PC found here, leave the high precision event timer turned off. So if the high precision event timer is already enabled for you, to disable it, what we're going to do is right click on it, select disable device. Once the device is disabled, you'll see the arrow going down next to it. We can then go ahead and exit out. We can then apply a piggyback optimization to ensure that it's properly disabled with inside of Windows by going into the FPS increase pack provided, going inside of the command text document. With inside of here, you'll then be seeing turn off HPET. We're simply then going to go ahead and copy this command all the way from the right hand side to the left, just like so. Once the command is fully highlighted, right click, select copy. We can then go ahead and exit out of the text document, navigate to the bottom left hand side, click on the Windows key, type in CMD, right click on command prompt with inside of here, run it as administrator, and select yes. Once you guys have done that, we're then going to go ahead and press Ctrl and then V on our keyboards to paste that command and press enter. Once you guys have pasted the command, if you're met with this error message found here, that's absolutely fine. It means that the HPET was already disabled for you. If it says operation successful, it means that the HPET was currently running and you've now successfully disabled it. Either way, once you see any of those options, go ahead and exit out. For another fast and effective optimization, we're then going to be navigating to the bottom left hand side, clicking on the Windows key, typing in reg edit just like so, and pressing enter. Go ahead and press yes, and you'll then be brought with inside of the Windows registry editor. With inside of here, this can look quite confusing, but we're simply going to be applying one simple optimization with inside of here, and it's very easy to find. To start off, what we're going to be doing is going into H key current user, clicking on the drop down menu, then going down to system, clicking on the drop down menu once again, going inside of game config store, clicking on the drop down menu, and then going inside of the children folder. Click on the drop down menu once again, and you'll then be met with a bunch of folders with inside of here with random letters and numbers. To find the folder we're looking for, we're actually going to be going back up to the children folder, right clicking, selecting find. With inside of here, we're then simply going to be typing in Fortnite, just like so, and then go ahead and click on find next. With inside of here, you'll then more than likely see a folder is then highlighted. Go to the right hand side and you'll then be seeing matched exe full path, and this should be showing you the installation directory for Fortnite. The problem with this folder is that Windows optimizations typically aren't very good for high demanding game applications, and in nearly every single case can actually deteriorate your performance. So to solve this, what we're going to be doing is navigating over to the left hand side to the highlighted folder for Fortnite, right clicking, and first of all we're going to be selecting the option for export. export. Simply call this something like Fortnite default, and then go ahead and press save, and you'll then see the key then appears on your desktop. So if at any point after we've deleted the folder with inside of here, if you wish to re-enable it and re-enable the directory, it's very simple and easy to do. You'll just double click on the key with inside of your desktop, select yes, and the registry directory will then appear back with inside of here. So once you've created the backup, go ahead and right click on the folder, then go ahead and select delete, select yes, and we can then go ahead and exit out of the registry editor as the optimization has then been applied. Moving on from there, we can then apply some further registry optimizations very simply and easily by navigating inside of the FPS increase pack provided, going inside of the optimizations folder, then navigating down to the Reg Optimization Fixes folder. With inside of it, we're then going to be clicking on each and every one of these registry entries, double clicking, and this will automatically change the options with inside of the Windows registry editor, so we don't have to spend half an hour looking through all of the options. If at any point you want to revert all of these settings back to the default values inside the Reg editor, go inside of the default Reg files to revert back to stock folder found here, and simply click and enable all of these options with inside of here, and this will set all of the settings back to the default values. Start off with disable DVR1, select yes, yes, and OK. Disable DVR2, yes, yes, OK. Full screen fix, yes, yes, OK. Game optimizations, and once you've applied that optimization, you'll then be met with the low to medium end and medium to high end optimizations. For the best results possible, it's recommended to click on the optimization which best matches your system specs. If you're on a medium to ultra high end PC, go with medium to high, and if you're on an ultra low PC to a medium end PC, go with ultra low to medium. For me, I'm recording this video on my high end gaming PC, so I'm going to be going with high, selecting yes, yes, okay, and all of those optimizations have now been successfully applied. For another incredibly important optimization, what we're going to be doing is actually navigate inside of the FPS increase pack provided once again, this time going inside of the optimizations folder, and we're going to start off by going inside of the Fortnite 2 process folder. These three keys here will help you set the process priority with inside of Fortnite every single time the game is booted. So selecting the high priority key will mean that Fortnite is booted to high priority every single time the game is booted automatically with inside of Windows. The default value is normal, so if you run into any performance issues, do go ahead back inside of here and enable the Fortnite normal priority to revert this change. But for nearly everyone watching, for the best results, double click on Fortnite high priority, select yes, yes, okay, and that optimization has then been completed. This now leads us on to a very important step inside of the video to ensure that we're getting the best mouse performance, not only to help improve your aim, give you more consistent aim, but to also boost FPS as well. To start off with these settings, we're going to navigate into the bottom left hand side once again, click on the Windows key, this time typing in mouse space settings, click on the mouse settings option, navigate over to the right hand side to additional mouse options. With inside of it, we're then going to be going into pointer options and ensuring that enhanced pointer precision is actually unchecked. We're then going to go to the selector pointer speed, drag this all the way over to the left hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once you've reached 6 with inside of here, we're then going to go ahead to the bottom right hand side, press apply. You have now successfully enabled one-to-one mouse scaling with inside of Windows to help improve the snappiness of your aim with inside of games. This now leads us on to a mouse optimization. This optimization is probably only going to be able to be set on gaming mice, so if you do have a gaming mouse which has software available for it, or if you're not sure if there is software available for your mouse or you don't have it installed, simply turn over your mouse. You'll then be seeing the make and model number of the mouse you have. Take yourself over to Google and search for the make and model number of your mouse with software added to the end of it, and take a look around and see if there's any software available for your mouse. So open up the software. For me, I'm running on the Cooler Master MM710. Now most mouse software will look different from one another, but the options are typically the same. The option we're going to be looking for with inside of it is actually going to be the USB polling rate or mouse hertz. For most mice, you'll be seeing options between 125 up to 500 and in some cases 1000. If your mouse does support 1000 Hz, it's actually recommended not to use this, as this puts a lot more strain on the USB bus with inside of your PC, and typically most mice or motherboards, or depending on your system specs, your PC might not actually be able to cope with 1000 Hz mouse response rate, which is how many times the mouse and USB bus communicate information back and forth within a second. For the most part, if you're running on relatively stressed systems, running on 1000 Hz could mean that you're running anywhere between 500 and 1000, and this number will typically be very inconsistent. Setting this down to 500 Hz for high-end PCs means that you're getting 500 Hz consistently at all times, making sure that your aim becomes a lot more consistent, and can also help improve FPS as well by not stressing your USB bus. For lower-end systems, try out 250 and 125, as the lower you go with this, the better your FPS will become, but the worse your mouse will perform. Once the optimization has then been set, go to the bottom right hand side and press apply. If Discord is running in the background of your PC whilst playing Fortnite for any reason, whether you're using it to talk to people or not, you should have this optimization set regardless of your system specs. You will not be noticing any changes or slowdowns with inside of Discord, but this can drastically help improve any stuttering you could be experiencing with inside of some games. To set up this optimization, simply boot into Discord. Once Discord is open, navigate to the bottom left hand side to your user settings cog. Once inside of here, then go to the left hand side once again, go down to the appearance tab, scroll all the way down to the bottom, finding the advanced mode, and we're going to be looking for the option titled hardware acceleration. If this option is switched on like it is for me, go ahead and switch this to the off position, press OK, and Discord will then be restarted. For another quick optimization which comes in the form of system maintenance, we're going to be navigating to the bottom left hand side once again, typing in %temp%, then pressing enter, and you'll then be brought into the massive Windows dump for all programs, files, and applications you have installed on your PC. This folder is not automatically cleaned up or cleaned out by Windows, so depending on the age of your Windows 10 installation, this folder could be around about 80 plus gigabytes in size in some cases. So once you're inside of this folder, go all the way to the top, highlight and select every file and folder within inside of here, right click and select delete. Once you guys attempt to do that, you'll then be met with this prompt, click do this for all current items, then hit skip, and continue to set those options for any other prompts that come up. Once you guys are done with inside of there, the only folders and files remaining are the only ones Windows was actually using. Everything else was an excess caching file, dump file, and didn't need to be on your PC and was simply soaking up resources and storage space. This now leads us on to the point in the video where we're going to be heavily focusing on GPU optimizations. Now before we go into any of these optimizations, it's incredibly important to ensure that you guys are running on the latest graphics card driver. So regardless of your system specs, make or model of the graphics card you have installed, it is vital that you're running on the latest graphics card drivers and the latest updates of Windows. Pairing these two together can be absolutely fantastic to ensure that you guys are getting the best FPS possible in all cases and in all games. But for those running on either AMD or Nvidia, right click on the desktop and you'll either be seeing the Nvidia control panel or the AMD Radeon settings panel. What you can then go ahead and do is navigate into the description down below and click on the corresponding link for the graphics card you have installed. For you Nvidia Geforce users, you'll be brought to this webpage found here. Simply go to the automatic driver updates utility found here, click download now, download the program, and once the program is installed, it will then automatically detect and install the latest graphics card driver for your PC and get you up and running. For you AMD Radeon users, it's a very similar experience. Go down to the auto detect and install Radeon graphics drivers for Windows utility found here, click download now. Once the program is finished downloading, install the program. It will then get you up and running on the latest graphics card driver and automatically install that for you. It's essential to ensure that we're running on the most optimized settings for those drivers to ensure that we're getting the best FPS possible. These are incredibly safe, simple, and easy to apply. They will not void any warranties, and in every single case you should have these settings applied no matter what. So to find these settings, navigate inside of the FPS increase pack provided, go inside of the optimizations folder. We're then going to be going inside of the GPU settings folder, and with inside of it you're then going to click on the corresponding folder which matches the graphics card in which you have installed. For me, on my high-end gaming PC, I have an Nvidia Geforce card, so I'm going to be going inside of the Nvidia Geforce folder. You'll then be met with a bunch of different screenshots which you can simply open up just like so, and it will show you step by step how to set up these settings and which settings to set for the best FPS possible. And for one last, final, and almost the most important GPU optimization possible for the graphics card you have inside of your PC, and one of the best optimizations in which you can apply for the PC as a whole, comes in the form of GPU overclocking. Even if the rest of your PC isn't overclocked and you don't wish to overclock it, or you're scared of overclocking, GPU overclocking is incredibly safe and simple to set up and can get you gains anywhere between around about 10 to 25% FPS improvements across the board on nearly every single game you play. It is one of the most vital and important optimizations to apply to any PC of any spec range. Regardless of the make, manufacturer, model, or age of the graphics card you have installed to your PC, you cannot damage it through GPU overclocking. It's incredibly vital and important to actually go ahead and check out that video to ensure that you're getting the best FPS possible out of the graphics card and PC you've paid good money for. Link can be found on the top right hand side of the screen now and in the description down below. For a highly effective optimization in which I've showcased in almost all of my videos, this comes in the form of the ultimate Windows power plan. This is a secret power plan in which you can apply with inside of Windows to ensure that you're getting the best FPS possible, and from many sources and people who have tried and tested this optimization alone has fixed their stuttering issues with inside of games. So to do this, what we're going to be doing is navigating to the bottom left hand side, typing in power space plan, clicking on edit power plan. We're then going to go up to the navigation bar found at the top, click on power options, go to the show additional power plans drop down menu, and we're going to be looking for the ultimate performance power plan. It's very simple and easy to unlock. Simply go ahead and minimize out of the power options, go inside of the FPS increase pack provided once again, go inside of command text document once again, and this time we're going to be going up to the top. Simply drag all the way from the right hand side to the left just like so, power CFG command found here, right click and then select copy. Exit out of the text document, navigate to the bottom left hand side, click on the Windows key, type in CMD, right click on command prompt and run this as an administrator. Once CMD is open as an admin, go ahead and press Ctrl and then V on your keyboard, paste in the command just like so and then press enter. Once you guys have pressed enter, you should then be seeing Power Scheme GUID Ultimate Performance. Once you see this, go ahead and exit out, navigate back to the power options which we minimized earlier, take yourself up to the top to the refresh button, click refresh, scroll all the way down to the bottom, you should then be seeing the ultimate performance power plan available inside of here, click on the little selectable icon next to it to select this power plan and you're then good to go. If for any reason you wish to turn off this power plan, I'd recommend going back to the high performance power plan just like so by selecting it. Definitely go ahead and test out this brand new power plan. Make sure it's selected like so, then go ahead and exit out. This now leads us on to the last, final and one of the most important optimizations within inside of this entire video. Before we finalise and boot into the game to see our brand new optimised experience, take yourself back into the FPS increase pack one last time, navigate inside of the optimizations folder and find the folder for ISLC, drag this folder onto the desktop. This contains the Intelligent Standby List Cleaner or ISLC. This is a sort of 2-in-1 optimization program. The first part of the program basically helps you keep reserved RAM in the background, clearing up your Windows standby list and excess programs running in the background, and keeping an open pool of RAM in the background so the game and other resources can use that pool to ensure that you're not running into any slowdown. For the second and most important part of the program, this program actually features the timer resolution program built within inside of it, and which I've recommended for years. This program basically allows you to set a lower input latency between the operating system, game application itself, and the hardware installed to your PC. So to set the program up, simply go ahead and double click on the Intelligent Standby List Cleaner, select yes, and if the program doesn't open up, navigate to the bottom right hand side to the task icon tray, open up the task icon tray and find this green monitor found here and double click. We're then going to go to the first box found here on the left hand side, type a value of 1024. For the second box, we're going to be setting this to half of our overall system memory. You can see your total system memory found up here at the top, so I have 32,700 megabytes. Roughly half of that is going to be 16,000, so I'm going to be putting in 16,000. Then on the right hand side, we're going to be checking the Enable Time Resolution box, go into the Wanted Time Resolution box and type a value of 0.50. Then use the delete key to get rid of the extra decimals. Then go down to the ISLC polling rate down here at the bottom right hand side, click on the drop down menu, set this to 500 for good PCs, and for lower end PCs set this to 1000. You've then successfully set up the ISLC program. All there is left to do now is to go to the bottom right hand side, click the start button, then click purge standby list. This will then clear out the standby list on your PC, minimize the program, and whilst the program is running, we can then go ahead and finally boot into Fortnite and check out the results for the brand new Season 3 optimization guide. And there you guys have it. That is my ultimate FPS increase guide for Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 3. This video has featured a plethora of brand new optimizations alongside heavily updated optimizations to any of the old settings in which I used to recommend. And again guys, as always, if you guys did enjoy this video and are happy with the results, please leave a like on the videos, that helps me out tremendously. And again guys, if you guys do enjoy this content, please do consider pressing that subscription button alongside the bell notification to be notified instantly of whenever brand new content goes live on the channel. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video guys. I've been PANJ, and I'll see you in the next one.